Nice. Then you'll like this. Okay, recording in progress. So we're going to be talking about putting on your party game face. So what do I mean by party game face? Well, let's talk about in-person parties, and then we can backtrack and use the same basic principles before you do a Zoom party as well. So the reality is we get what we focus on. If I go to a party and I have no game plan, if I'm simply just going, I'm just going to put the jewelry out and see what happens, right? I hear that from so many people. I'm just going to put the jewelry out and see what happens. Okay, you can do that and you might have some success, but the reality is you get what you focus on. So you have to decide ahead of time what your goals are at that party, at any party, at every party. You need to plan your work and then work your plan. One of the biggest things to remember in party plan is that your very best work is always done at the party itself. Now that's even at a Zoom party, but we're going to talk about live in-person parties. And like I said, then you can apply it to Zoom parties. And the reason is because you have people in front of you that you can connect with, and you have ways of setting the stage for certain types of conversations to happen in those moments with those people in front of you. So it isn't just about putting the jewelry out. It's about how can I move all these people forward in their connection to Touchstone Crystal and their connection to me. And secondly, what do I care about? How many parties do I want to book at this party? How many new consultant leads do I want to walk away with? How many orders do I want to get over $100? And to me, that's actually the third thing. And it's way down the line, way down the list. In fact, I rarely even think about it because that's kind of the stuff that happens automatically. So when people say Touchstone Crystal sells itself, it is true. When you get in front of women and the jewelry is sitting there and they're all trying it on, it sells itself. And they start, you know how women are, they're always looking for the bargain and they're twisting it in their brains and figuring out the best way to get the deal. So once you tell them a few times that the 50% off piece is theirs after a $100 order, they're going to twist it in their brain and they're going to do that. So that's the third thing way down on the list. My number one goal was to book more parties. My number two goal that's right up there, like a really close second, is how many new consultant leads can I walk away with and know that I'm going to be following up with these really great women. So, all right, so now I've got to figure out what I want to do. And these may not be your top things, but these are my top things going into my party tomorrow night and my party on Saturday afternoon. The one tomorrow night is with people that I know already, so it's a little different in some ways. And the hostess has been a consultant for a minute and has stepped away from being a consultant back to a hostess, which I love that. I think that's a great step. The other one is a brand new hostess, brand new set of people, brand new town, everything. So the sky is the limit, right? But I don't want to limit myself at either party. I'm still looking for how many parties can I book for February and how many new consultant leads can I walk away with? All right. So what are the steps I'm going to take? So the first is figuring out what are the seeds I'm going to plant directly and on purpose, not just randomly because it comes to me, but on purpose. What seeds am I going to plant about booking parties? Well, for me, the most fun thing that I do at parties that I absolutely love is my tickets. In fact, I already have them packed in my bag for tomorrow night. I got this from Terry O'Neill. This is genius, and I've been doing this for years. I have these double-sided tickets from, Walmart and Target. They're the carnival tickets, and I'll rip off 20 of them and I'll peel them apart and I'll put 20 in a plastic cup, and I'll start handing out the rest of them. And what I'll say is, for every piece of jewelry that you try on, ladies, I'm going to give you a ticket. And so they catch on, but the beautiful thing about it is that now they are getting used to the jewelry. They're falling in love with different pieces. Yes, that helps the orders, but what I'm really trying to do is to get them to want all of it, to get them to want 5 pieces instead of 1, to get them instead of the obligatory order. And then I'm going to be kind of coming around and saying, well, you may as well just do a party to get all of that, right? I plant a seed and I walk away. I'm not trying to beg the question as we're at the table. And then a lot of times what I'll say is, ladies, so many of you are all over this keep in mind that you can do what Miriam is doing today at this party. You can just do your own party too. I'll come back down to Charlottesville and then I'll walk away, right? Let it marinate. Let it marinate. You got to remember that the first answer, the reflex answer from anybody is usually no. Reflex answer to anything is usually no. We got to give them time to let it sit, marinate, let them think about it, not beg the question. Because once you get the no, it's a lot harder to get the yes in the same setting. So I'm trying to get them to fall in love with the jewelry, and I'm trying to get them to understand that if they want a whole lot of it, they can do their own party, just like Miriam's doing her party today, right? And then I'm also going to plant the seed that the hostess is going to get a 70% off piece for every party that gets booked today. And she's got a really long wish list, and man, she's going to love you if she's going to get us another 70% off piece because you booked her party. So that's your first order, is Miriam on your own party. So I'm working hard to plant seeds along the way. Then I do the dress the guest. And how do I do that? I pick the person who is the most bubbly and the most fun, and she's got to have a good neckline. Like, she can't be wearing a hoodie or something, because that's not good. It doesn't work. But you pick the one who's the most fun, the most contagious, and start layering the jewelry on her, right? And again, with the goal of showing that $600, whatever, you could even use the kit items if you have them, because then you're showing what an average hostess can get in free and half price jewelry. And at the end, you say, how do you like it? You want to buy it all? No, you want to get it for free and half price? Sure. That's what our average hostess gets, right? So this is very old school, but you got to be planting the seeds. And even though you get blank faces, it's still going into their head like, oh, because what they're doing is thinking, right? And then at checkout, that's where you've got to have your verbiage really comfortable, like what you really want to say. And my favorite words, and you're going to have to find your own. My favorite words are, gosh, this is a great order. I sure hope you're thinking about doing your own party soon. How about February with the new catalog? And I might not have any idea she's at all interested. It might be that she's not even somebody that I mentioned it to at the table. But my words are super comfortable. For me, you got to find your own, but you've got to find them and say them. For me, it's, I sure hope you're thinking about doing your own party soon. How about February with the new catalog? None of your friends have seen this, right? So that pitter-patter conversation has got to happen. And this is the stuff that we have to get in our brains. This is what I'm going to do. This is my game plan at this party, right? Now you're going to have to figure out how to apply all that to a Zoom party, which is different because you're not right there and doing individual checkout while the party's going on. So it's a little different, but you can still morph it, right? To however, but you got to be asking those questions. So we've gotten so used to everything's on Facebook. They're posting all these things, when people come to us and say they want a party or whatever. We're going to go back to old school in 2022 because things are going to open up. We're going to be able to do a lot more things than we have been able to in 2 years. In person with real women, we got to remember how we do these things, right? And they're fun and they're exciting. Okay, then if I want consultant leads, I got to figure out how to get those too. So that's where using these tickets can become really helpful, because then at the end, after I do my little presentation, whatever it encompasses, whatever it ends up being, if the crowd is not too big, I'm going to do that. I'm going to wave. I'll say, ladies, all right, I'm just about done. I've got 90 seconds more. I've got 5 tickets here, and I'm going to bribe you to ask me questions about what I do from my business. And you can ask me anything like, how much does it cost to do this business to get started? How much money can you make? Where do you go on your trips? So who wants to ask the first question? I've only got 90 seconds and I got 5 tickets left to give away. Who's first? So I've just given them examples of what they could ask. And I keep reiterating, I've only got 90, and so I'm trying to make them see that I'm not going to drag this out for 20 minutes. They're not going to be going like, oh gosh, she's the girl who's just going to try to convince us all to, right. I'm trying to keep it really simple and straightforward. My goal with the tickets is to see who asks the questions. It's all about intel. Who's asking the questions? So if I get 5 people asking me 5 questions, I want to kind of remember that. And at checkout, I want to say, that was so nice of you to ask that question. Were you just being nice, or were you actually curious? Right? Were you just being nice, or were you actually curious? And if she's like, well, no, I was actually curious. Okay, great. Tell me why. Right. I don't want to keep going at her. I want to ask her questions. I want to find out why she asked that question, right? Whichever one it was. How much does it cost, or where were your trips? Because maybe she's not interested. She's just conversationalist, right? But who knows? We're not going to know. So by the time I walk away, my hope is that I've got a couple of party yeses and maybes that I can follow up with the next morning, and several people that I really like, that either we had a conversation, or she said some interesting things to me, or she's given me a little hook to follow up on. And if I didn't get to do it at the party, and hopefully I can, then I can follow up with her the next day. Gosh, it was so nice to meet you. Thanks for your order. You mentioned that you're retiring. I don't know if you'd ever thought about this, but would you consider talking to me about doing what I do? Right. So even if I can't have the conversation at the party, my intention is that the next day I'm going to be following up to say thank you and to continue the conversation with her while it's fresh in her mind. This is the game plan that we have to have in order to keep moving forward. Now, if you don't care about moving forward and you just want to sell jewelry, go sell jewelry. Don't worry about any of it, right? Maybe try to book another party, whatever. But if your goal is to move forward, if your goal is more income, if your goal is a bigger team, if your goal is better parties, more parties, larger VIP group, you got to go into this thing with a game plan in mind. And that party is where the magic always happens, especially if it's in person. So any thoughts about that? Can you tell I'm a little bit passionate? I only had one cup of coffee too. And only part of my smoothie, so no protein in me. So
Betsey, I just want to support with what you're saying. I love this. This is a great reminder of, kind of going back to the basics. And I was posting in the chat that, even if you are doing online, the Zoom parties, is that I try to encourage, you have the opportunity to ask for their phone number, so then you can follow up with them. And I try to do my best to offer to put their order in, and then they have to call me with their credit card. And so then I kind of treat that as an opportunity to pretend like we're in person, and asking all those things that you are talking about. So there is a way, even virtually. Of course, it's not as effective but I think it's pretty effective. I mean, of course, it's a much better experience when it is in person. Yeah. However, you can make it almost as good. And I mean, that's how I built my business, is, taking advantage of that, because during COVID, I went from a consultant to a director. Yep. And so it was utilizing this opportunity to talk to them and do all those things. So I just wanted to, it is possible even when you can't do in person.
And you bring up such a great point. It is 100% possible. But what you demonstrated is that it takes forward motion. It takes a willingness to put that little extra effort into it. It is effort. It's super easy, even for me to go, all right, whatever. She bought some stuff and I don't care, whatever, right? But I have to want something in order to decide I'm going to put forth the effort to make that happen. And I have to be crystal clear on what the most important efforts are. And Patricia, you figured out what those most important efforts were. It was the conversation with the individual, right? Helping her with her order, seeing how else you can move her forward in her relationship with Touchstone Crystal and with you, right? That's always the goal. I think when we go to a party, I want to know, how can I move this hostess forward in her connection to Touchstone Crystal? How can I move her friends forward in their connection? Maybe they're brand new, but by the time they leave, they feel like they know a little bit about the company, a little bit about me. They want to keep doing business with me. They want to do a party with me. They want to join my team. Anything that has moved them forward in my time with them, but it takes intention and energy.
And I think too, is that not only, it's important for everyone to remember is that it doesn't end there. Like once that, you have to continue that conversation with these ladies, just checking in, like, hey, are you getting a lot of compliments? How's it going? Happy New Year. I have a client that ordered from me, I don't know, early on in COVID, and I had just reached out to her about the ice bracelets. And so she ended up buying 2 ice bracelets and a pair of earrings at half off. And so she had called me with her credit card. And so we had that conversation and she said, you know what? I may consider a party down the road, but right now I have some personal issues I'm dealing with. And I said, well, if you have any friends that you think would love this sparkle, send them to me and I'll take care of you. And I said, and especially if they have a party of their own, you get 70% off at their party. And she was like, oh, I think I have some friends that love sparkle. I'll definitely, send them your way. So and she's like, I know you're out there. I appreciate you following. She said this all to me yesterday. And it was like, I needed to hear that because I think sometimes we forget like the importance of it. And she's like, I know you're out there and I appreciate you always, keeping in touch and following up with me. And so anytime I need sparkle, I know I can contact you. And so that is just like, it's a nice reminder to know that, hey, and I even had a client where I had just reached out to her and said, happy New Year. And she said, oh yeah, I have this necklace that the crystals fell out and it was a piece that was retired and we found someone and, they're sending that piece and we're sending her something else from the new collection. But like, and she's like, oh yeah. And now we're talking about a party. So it's just, it's all about keeping that conversation going and not stopping just after the party is a critical piece to your business.
That's so brilliant. And it does take energy and effort. It really does. But the cool thing is that when we can define those key things, those simple, key, almost boring things, repetitious things that make all the difference, it allows us to create a to-do list that is going to give us, there we go. It's going to give us the to-do list that's going to build our business, because it's really easy for me to sit here and just organize my jewelry. I would rather do that a lot of days, or my desk, if you could see it. But I will allow myself to do that for 10 minutes. And then I have to get on those things that are repetitious, kind of boring, but actually give us the results that we want, because they are all about people. This is about people, not stuff or jewelry. It's about people. So Patricia, your point is just really smart. And, a plug for the Amy app for me, and a lot of other people, much more than me, that becomes the linchpin and the set of reminders that have really propelled some people forward quickly in their businesses, because they really do take it seriously and use it as their daily reminder of who to reach out to, one way or another.
And the best part of it is that, like, honestly, is that it gives you that information, like, how many times have I reached out to Sally Sue and when did I reach out to her? And honestly, I don't save anyone's phone number in here. So when someone actually responds with, yeah, I'm interested, I can scroll up and it says, okay, I said, hi, Sally. So then I can go back into Amy app, look up Sally and see which Sally did I recently reach out to. Right. So you can like put the puzzle back together without having to save and write down everything. It's like, it creates that history to fall back on, which I think is a game changer, sanity creator.
So smart. Yes. Right. And not paper. And it's right there on your phone or on your tablet. So yeah, so much easier. It really is. We've come a really long way with our technology and allowing it to work for us, but we still have to work, and it's still about people, and the technology is the tool to remind us who to reach out to. So any last thoughts about game face? How do we set our face like flint? I mean, for me, I picture, this is what I do when I'm driving to the party. I am thinking about my strategy. What am I doing when I walk in? What am I saying to my hostess about the business, about her friends who might want to book a party? Who would be a good consultant? What am I going to say to the friends when they walk in? What am I going to say to them at checkout? And because I want to make sure that my game face is on, I'm leaving everything behind me that I left at home, that I left from the day. I am focusing on the women who I know are going to be walking through the door. And it really does make such a difference.
Yeah, I do all that, Betsy, but my question is, because I'm just checking to see if any of the other hosts do this, or am I giving away too much? Like, do you give a hostess gift to the host?
I used to take like a little potted plant or flowers or something, but If I happen to be at the grocery store, I might pick up flowers for my hostess that night, but no.
Because I was just like, because I do the sparkle pens or
Yeah,
the
that's
the little
thoughtful.
charms.
Sure, it's thoughtful.
And then, okay.
Yeah,
So
that's very
nobody
sweet.
gives jewelry or anything like
I
that.
do.
Do you?
I was too. That's why.
Only if the party reaches a certain amount.
Oh,
if I
right.
can
So
get
you're
the
not
party-
giving it as the hostess gift.
No,
I was
would
giving
never-
it as
yeah.
a hostess gift.
No.
Okay. So only if the party reaches a certain amount.
A
Okay.
certain amount. And if I get it to 1,000, I'll do a necklace and earring set.
Mhm.
Okay. See, I was bringing that as a gift to the party and giving it, and then doing a drawing. Like I asked for all the guests' names and their phone numbers, and then have them write down a number from 1 through 30, and I would have the host draw a number,
Mhm.
and then have the host pick a number and giving away a piece of jewelry, so that I was getting all the guests' name and numbers,
Mhm.
and doing it that way instead of doing the sparkle tickets like you were handing out to get information,
Mhm.
and doing it that way. And then I'm doing the what do they call it? The 12 box game
Mhm.
to get the party bookings.
Sure. Yeah.
So I played that.
Right. Right. Right.
Which I love. That's how I get a lot of my bookings, is at that 12 box game. I
that's
do
so
that
good.
on the Zoom parties, and I
Yeah.
do that on the in-person parties.
Yeah.
I love that game.
Right. And that's the key, is that you have your strategy for getting your bookings, and that's important.
Yeah.
So
And they love it.
the only hostessing that I give away, because I really believe our company is so generous, and I want to be duplicatable in everything I do. The way I set up my jewelry, the way I do my business, what I give away and don't give away, I want to be duplicatable so that women will say, I can do what she does. If I give too much away, they're going to go, I can't give all that away. That costs me money. I can't do that business because she's making it so hard or too expensive. So when I do it, it's funny, Sherry, what you said about the $1,000 hostess, I pay for her $19 for upgrading.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Instead of giving her something, because that's reasonable. I've just made money on that $1,000 party. I'd rather give that $19 to her as a benefit instead of giving away jewelry, which I'd rather have her book another party and get more jewelry or join my team.
And that's a good idea, because while they're sitting there racking their brains on everything we're giving them as a hostess, and then they're thinking, oh, another $20. If I ate that $20,
sure.
That's a good idea.
I got a better chance of getting her to host again.
There you go. There you go. And that's a gift.
And additional thought that I just thought of is that one of the really helpful things I found when you have an in-person party is that if you have all the orders in and everyone's still there, is you kind of like say, hey ladies, I don't want to interrupt your fun, but I wanted to let you guys know. So Sally here, your amazing friend and hostess. So this party, I got everyone's orders in. And so her party's at, like I had my last live, the orders were $2,400, right? And I said, so, and it was a double hostess rewards month, right? So I even broke it down to, I was like, okay, so Sally has $2,400 in sales. Thank you, everyone. You guys are amazing. And then I said, so normally, with the hostess program, she would have earned blah amount. I think it was like 700 something. And they said, but if I click this button, and then I said, Sally, you want me to click the button? It's going to cost $19. And I should have paid for it. And maybe I did. I don't remember. I paid for everyone's shipping in that party. So I think I was done paying for things. That was my Oprah moment. I was just so excited to be in person. I was just like, everybody gets free shipping. And thankfully everyone spent that 150% off. But anyway, so then and I said, so Sally, do you want me to click the button? Everyone's like, click the button. And so I clicked the button. I said, okay, so now instead of that 700, just for $19, she has 1,400 and whatever change in. So everyone got excited. And therefore from that, I had ladies wanting to do a party, right? Because now they saw the reality. It's not just me saying it, like this was the reality that happened that month. And I think that's a critical piece of it, because you could talk till you're blue in the face, but when you can show real results, it's pretty cool.
Idea.
That's
pretty
great.
powerful.
I love that. That's a lot
Yeah,
of
I
fun.
like that too.
Mm-hmm. And it was just, I think I was just so like, I don't even think I had coffee that day. I was like naturally just so excited to be there.
Yeah.
And they went through two things of champagne, two cases.
2 cases. Wow.
They were having fun too.
They were having a great time and I was having fun with them. I was like, you need this and you need this.
Well, you know what else I've done is I have a lot of girlfriends. One has like, she does a wine business on the side.
Ooh.
Another one does Labrie beauty products.
Mm-hmm.
So there are times when I do my live videos that I throw their names out there too.
Yeah.
And that way they'll do the same for me. So we're in a little circle of hopefully people will jump on and say, we got to check this out.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Intentionally plugging your friends' businesses too. I love that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Can never go wrong doing that. That's
Well, I
great.
figured it could help me or not help me. So I got nothing to lose, but a lot to gain.
Totally agree. Yeah. And that's generous. I mean, and that sends a great message to your customers too, you know, that you are for women in business, which is really great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, ladies, let's go to it. Tonight's going to be so much fun at 7:00. I can't wait. Can't wait for you all to see everything. And I'm dying to hear what you all love and fall in love with most and what you think our best sellers are going to be. I'm always wrong. I never get it right. So
What do you think are our best, are going to be our best?
I
You
can't
can't
say.
say. Okay.
I can say because probably my favorite is a piece that we already know about, which is those little gold rings.
Yeah.
Because my daughter was looking through the catalog and she's 24, and I asked her to tell me what she thought the top 10 pieces were, like what would her favorites be. And as soon as she saw those rings, she's like, that the ring with the baguette. She says, Mom, baguettes are in, baguettes are coming back. And so she was looking at that ring with the baguette on it. That's one of our sales incentives this month. And so she thinks that's going to be a big seller, and I do too.
I think those earrings are.
Oh,
It'll be
I love
I
those
can't wait to
earrings.
have them and try them on.
I can't
Great.
either.
age.
Mhm.
Come,
Mhm.
come on.
Are the rings LBD? I can't remember.
They are.
Yes.
They are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they
Nice.
are. Yeah.
Which will be even better because you can wear them more with
Yeah.
less stress.
So pretty. Yeah, I love them. All right, it's going to be a lot of fun. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being on. Love
Thank
you guys.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.